Hey, guess who's back? Tony and Ilya here again. As you know, we've been running a software development company and today we will be roasted! Because today we are answering sharp and straightforward questions that people address us. And we guarantee concrete and honest answers. Come on!
Yeah, let's start. Everyone's talking about AI. But 90% of projects fail. How do you guarantee that your clients' investments in AI won't just disappear?
Well, we don't promise magic and we don't guarantee success of the product. What we do guarantee is this. We'll start by understanding the client's business, the pain points, the gaps, the goals. Then we'll give honest advice on whether AI is actually the right fit or it's a different software solution makes sense. And if we agree on what needs to be done, we'll deliver exactly that. Not in theory, not on a slide, but in reality.
Looks fine. What's your approach?
Well, we try to stick to what we call the no bullshit approach. No buzzwords, no fluff, no overpromising, just real practical value. If we look at your business and see that you don't actually need AI, we'll tell you. If building software won't fix the real problem, we'll say that too. Our focus is simple. Understand the business first, then find the best solution and deliver it. No shortcuts, no noise, just work that actually brings the value.
That's creative, but how a client can be sure that no bullshit is not just a marketing trick? Can you prove ROI numbers from solutions you have delivered?
Sure, let's take AI assistant for example. Say you run an online business selling products or services. A proper trained sales assistant will cost you, let's say, $40,000 for chat and $30,000 for voice assistant, which is $70,000 in total. With AI assistant in place, your sales go up because it talks to potential customers using a brand tone of voice, it follows your best sales scripts, it answers questions, and actually helps customers move through the sales funnel faster. Let's say your conversion rate and your average order value both go up by just 5% each, although it could go by 15%. So if you're making $100,000 a month, the extra is 10%, $10,000 monthly. If you sell for $500,000, you'll get extra $50,000 per month on average. Now let's talk about savings. You can easily cut 50% of your sales reps to start with and then check the results and go further. Say you have 5 customer reps, 1 supervisor and 4 rep representatives per shift, and you have 2 shifts a day, okay? So you can cut 1 person from chats and 1 person from voice calls per shift, which gives you 4 people in total per day, and it is 48 salaries a year. In fact, at the final stage, you can just leave 1 supervisor per shift to act as level 2 support to handle issues with orders, and AI will be doing all the consultancy. So what do we have? We have $70,000 investments versus 10% extra sales and 48 salaries saved per year.
A lot of companies offer similar solutions. So what makes you truly different, apart from the higher price?
The difference is in how we approach the problem. We don't just sell a boxed solution. We start by diving deep into a business, understanding what actually matters and what will truly make an impact. Then we tailor the software, write the code, and build a solution that fits your case, not a generic one. That's what sets us apart. It's not just AI for the sake of AI. It's AI as a business tool that actually works.
Which industries deliver the highest ROI from AI investments?
In my experience, AI drives big value in highly digitalized sectors. Banking alone could unlock $200 billion, $300 billion in annual value from generative AI through productivity gains across just retail, corporate, and investments segments. Retail and CPG firms stand to gain $400-600 billion by automating customer personalization and supply chain analytics. McKinsey finds that 75% of generative AI's potential concentrate in just 4 functions: customer operations, marketing and sales, software engineering, and research and development. Conversely, traditional offline sectors like construction, for instance, still lag in digital and AI readiness, making investment harder to justify. A successful AI strategy, therefore, rests on solid data foundations, targeted quick-win automations, and robust change management to convert pilots into lasting value streams.
How should traditional offline industries approach AI adoption to maximize real-world value?
Okay, let me tell a few things. First, build digital foundations. Establish centralized data lakes, cloud infrastructure, and a governance framework. McKinsey finds that less than 1% of firms consider themselves AI mature without these elements. Then, Target quick wins. Start with use cases that marry high frequency and clear metrics. Examples could include AI-driven sales support bots, level 1, level 2 customer service automation, document understanding tools, because these deliver measurable ROI within just months. Then, invest in helping people and processes adapt. AI only works when your team knows how to work with it. That means retraining employees, aligning goals with real outcomes, and creating mixed teams from different departments. Companies that rethink how they work, not just what tools they use, see bigger and longer-term results. Also, work with partners who know how to scale. It's smarter to bring in experts who've done this before. They will help avoid common mistakes, keep things secure, and make sure your AI isn't just a one-time experiment, but something that keeps delivering value over time.
Do you offer any guarantees? Do you offer for the reliability and performance of your AI solution?
Yep, we do offer a 1-year warranty, but that's pretty exclusive, by the way, meaning we take full responsibility for the stability of our solution for 12 months after launch. But here's the key point. The guarantee is valid only as long as the code we delivered isn't modified. If you start changing things or adding your own tweaks, we can't guarantee the outcome anymore. But if our code stays as we delivered it, we've got your back covered, and we are always here to support you.
How do you measure the success of an AI project? What key performance indicators do you track?
Well, we always start with this. AI has to solve a specific business problem, okay? Ideally, the measurable one, because when the problem is clear and quantifiable, the solution naturally defines its own KPIs. For example, if AI is handling something people used to do, like answering support tickets or processing requests, something like this. In this case, it's really easy to measure. We just compare the before and after. Response time, accuracy, customer satisfaction, cost per tasks, whatever mattered in that workflow. We do also look at return on investments, not just how well the solution performs, but whether it justifies the investment in it. And if a process already had clear metrics before we stepped in, it's even better. We simply track the same ones post-AI to see the real impact. No fluff, just numbers that speaks for themselves.
What legal or regulatory limitations exist in the field of AI automation?
Well, mostly legal restrictions around AI come down to data, how it's collected and where it's stored. In B2B, especially where data privacy is critical, you often need to use cloud solutions that are physically located in the same country as the business, like Saudi Arabia does, for example. In B2C sector, particularly in Europe, the law says that if European citizens are using an AI system, then both data and the AI model itself must be hosted within the EU. So it's all about protecting user privacy and staying compliant with local regulations.
How do you ensure that your AI automation is scalable and can grow alongside the client's business?
Well, that's actually one of the biggest advantages of AI automation. Scalability is built into the architecture from day one. As your business grows and you start generating more leads, you don't need to scale your team or hire more managers to keep up. AI handles the increased volume automatically, sorting, prioritizing, and even engaging with leads on its own. Instead of throwing people at the problem, you're scaling smart with systems that grow as fast as you do.
People often blame production issues on errors or the human factor. Will AI solve that or just create new problems?
I'd say that AI can definitely reduce human error because it doesn't get tired or forget, but it's not perfect either. Bad data or poor setup can still cause issues. The real power is when AI and people work together, each covering the other's blind spots. That's where you get real reliability.
Do you dive into your client's business processes and offer your own vision? Or do you simply act as developers, building exactly what the client asks for?
That's a very deep question, to be honest, and after 10 years in this, I still can't give a black and white answer. On one hand, you can't just blindly build that the client asks for, because sometimes they're asking for things that simply don't make sense technically or strategically. But on the other hand, even if the client doesn't fully understand how AI works, we're not here to treat them like babies, right? It's always a balance, listening, guiding, and co-creating a solution that actually fits their business and goals. We are here not just to write code on demand. We dig into the client's business, how it works, where the pain points are, what could be optimized, and then we offer a solution that actually makes sense. Of course, we respect the client's vision, but we also bring our own expertise to the table. We advise, because at the end of the day, it's not just about building what was asked, it's about building what really works.
Okay, if we compare two companies, one that uses AI and one that sticks to the old school way of doing things, what will they look like a year from now? Can you give a specific example?
That's a great question, and there will be a long answer. Well, it really depends on the industry, of course, but let's take a digital example. Imagine we have two e-commerce companies in Europe selling, let's say, construction equipment. Both have like 20 employees and both want to scale this year, okay? They launch similar marketing campaigns with the same ad spend and traffic. Now, one of them starts using AI for lead handling, first and second line support and follow-ups. That company can instantly process more leads, respond faster, and close more deals using the same traffic. What about the other company? Some of those leads will just disappear because if your response time is over a day or two, a good chunk of the leads will simply be gone. They will go to a competitor. That's a direct revenue loss. Now let's talk about content. The AI-powered company is testing landing pages, generating SEO articles, rewriting product descriptions, adapting to new markets, all at scale. A year later, they are not just relying on paid traffic anymore, they're getting organic leads too. Now you've got one company paying more and more for every lead and the other getting more and more for free. And you ask, what's the outcome? Well, the first company knows how to scale without growing their team directly. It gets more leads with the same budget and ends up looking way more attractive to both clients and investors. And how about the second one? They are stuck. Or worse, falling behind. Because, let's be honest, markets don't stand still these days. If you're not moving forward, you'll probably get left behind.
How do you test and debug your AI?
We test AI solutions like we are hiring someone. First, we run sandbox tests with real cases, edge scenarios, and then compare them to manual baselines. Then, we launch it in a limited production environment with clear metrics and feedback from users. The goal here isn't just to check if it works, but to see if it performs better or worse than a human. We iterate based on where it's falling short and scale it where it works. Simple.
Do you document your AI solutions so other developers can understand and use them if needed?
Yeah, absolutely. We document everything. Architecture, data pipelines, logic, setup instructions. This is critical, especially for complex projects or when they're handed off to other teams that a developer can jump in without needing to call the original author. For that, we usually use Notion, Confluence, or just simple markdown in the repository with flowcharts in Miro or Excalidraw.
What if a client doesn't get the expected ROI after a year?
Well, first we investigate. Was it the data, a bad integration, wrong KPIs? We try to go straight to the root cause. We focus on fixing, improving, and getting the client back on track because our reputation and long-term relationships matter. We're here for a long game.
What's the worst feedback you've received about your solutions and how did you respond?
One client once said we were too cheap. It was unexpected but funny. But seriously, the most difficult feedback we get is when expectations don't align with reality. We always try to set clear expectations up front. If something doesn't go as planned, we work closely with the client to adapt and improve the solution.
What if your AI solution causes real damage to a client's business? Would you admit fault and compensate for the damage?
Absolutely. If we identify a mistake on our end, we would take full responsibility, fix it, and do everything to mitigate the impact. It's important to be transparent and work with the client to resolve the situation, especially if it's affecting their business.
Do clients actually understand how your AI works or just trust you?
You know, we always ensure there is an education phase on the project. Clients need to understand how AI affects their processes, not just trust us blindly. We explain how it works, show key results, hold Q&A sessions where their teams can get a deeper understanding. Yeah, trust is great, but trust and understanding is even better. Your competitors promise AI in a week. Why does it take months with you?
Look, we don't believe anyone can truly understand the client's business in a week. Sure, in a week you can slap a wrapper on OpenAI, but does it actually solve the business problem? Probably not. What we do takes time because it's real. We spend weeks customizing the model, fine-tuning it, integrating it with your actual data and systems. It's not a shortcut. It's a solution that actually works for your business. Once we see your situation requires a simple solution where just ChatGPT will be enough, we'll tell you about that and make a project within a week.
What happens if your AI solution starts behaving incorrectly or giving inaccurate results?
It's pretty much like with any other software. We run iterations of testing until the system delivers stable, reliable results. If we are talking specifically about AI, then yes, models can sometimes hallucinate, meaning they generate confident but incorrect answers. We are aware of that, and we don't just drop AI into your system and walk away. We fine-tune, apply filters, set up controls, and if needed, add validation layers to catch those mistakes. So it's not here's your AI, good luck. It's here is working solution that will make solid and stable.
Do you typically work with off-the-shelf AI models or do you develop custom models from scratch? What are the pros and cons of each approach?
Yeah, we use both approaches, depending on the task. For large language models like chat, it's not cost-effective to build from scratch. We rely on providers like OpenAI or Anthropic for quality and uptime. If privacy is a concern, we deploy local models, though with some quality trade-offs. For things like recommendation system, churn prediction, or usage estimation, custom models are essential. They need to be tailored to the specific data and business context. It's all about choosing the right tool for the job.
Listen, my business processes have been running smoothly for 20 years. Why should I change anything and risk that stability by implementing your AI?
Look, if your processes have been running for 20 years, that's amazing. Stability is important, no doubt. But if you're thinking about growth, scalability, or staying competitive, AI can be a smart lever. And just to be clear, it's not interrupting or breaking your business. We roll out AI in parallel and in controlled environment, test user-isolated processes, and carefully monitor how it performs. If it doesn't meet expectations right away, that's fine. We collect feedback, track the metrics, improve and iterate. Only once everything is stable, smooth, and your team feels ready, do we plug into real operation. It's not about risk or leasing stability, it's about smart, safe transformation.
Which specific business processes can be automated using AI and which ones are better left under human control?
AI today is great at things like estimation, forecasting, analytics, or automating focused areas like a call center or document processing. But when we are talking about large, complex, huge systems like a factory with tons of sensors and moving parts, the final decision still has to be made by a human. AI can give recommendations, highlight risks, even predict outcomes, but it shouldn't fly the plane solo. Think of it like autopilot, super helpful, makes things easier, but you still want a real pilot in the cabin, watching the system and making the final call.
If AI replaces most jobs, what will people do? Do you have a vision of the future?
That's a great question. If there is a basic income, let's be honest, a lot of people will be gaming for money, just in online games. But seriously, the job market will shift. Roles will evolve. Developers, for example, won't be doing routine coding. They'll be focused on higher level problem solving, strategy and creativity. The key is to grow with AI, not fight it.
You help businesses with AI. Do you use AI in your own processes?
Yeah, absolutely. We automate everything we can. Our role is simple. If a task takes more than 4 hours a day, we automate it. We've built internal system for staffing, client matching, ICP enrichments, and trend analysis. On top of that, we are building our own AI products. It keeps our team on the cutting edge and helps us understand how to create real value. If we can automate our AI, we do it. So yeah, we live what we sell.
What's the biggest failure you've had in an AI project and what lessons did you learn from it?
One of our biggest failure was trying to build an AI no-code builder. On paper, it sounded like a solid, ambitious idea, a tool that would let any company drag and drop blogs to automate their processes. No developers, no consultants, just pure self-service. We spent nearly 2 years on it. We built the architecture, designed a smooth UI, added integrated companions, integrated external tools. At one point it was fully functional and ready to go. But once we started pilot projects with real companies, we hit a wall. Almost no one actually wanted to figure it out themselves. What they really wanted was someone to take them by the hand, dive into their business, find the weak points, offer clear solutions, and then implement automation. Just giving them a tool, a SaaS product, no matter how user-friendly, didn't work. It's like handing someone a surgical kit when they got a stomach pain. They don't want to learn how to operate. They just want help. The lesson, selling a boxed SaaS no-code AI product, made no sense. So that's why we changed the approach completely. Now we start with the deep dive, process diagnostics, tailored solutions, and full integration. Once that's in place, we can build custom automation and even create custom internal AI tools on top of it. Yeah, this product was a failure, but it was a useful failure. Without it, we wouldn't have arrived at the model that actually delivers value to clients and fuels sustainable growth for us.
Do you know which companies simply can't do without AI?
To be honest, in my mind, within the next 2 or 3 years, almost any company that wants to grow or even just stay on track won't be able to ignore AI. But here's the thing, it's not really about the industry. The real filter is mindset. If company is asking where can we move faster or cut costs within AI, they'll likely find valuable opportunities. But if they're still asking why do we even need it at all, they risk falling behind. By the time they decide to act, the market may have already moved on. AI is not a buzzword anymore. It's becoming infrastructure. The sooner you embrace it, the further ahead you get.
If your competitors ask for your advice on AI development, what would be your top recommendation?
I tell them, don't start with the model, start with the problem. A common mistake is to think, let's just plug a ChatGPT. The right way is to first identify where is the friction in the business, where is the costly, slow, or not scalable. From there you decide if AI is the solution. Maybe you don't need large language models, but a simple classifier or some automation will solve the problem. Also always think about post-launch. Who will maintain it? How will you update it? Without a plan for operation, the project will fail after 3 months.
What dirty tricks do your competitors use to steal your clients?
There are always flashy tactics out there, but we prefer to focus on building trust. We are transparent about the time and effort our solutions require to adapt. The real value comes from long-term partnerships, not quick wins. As for dirty tricks, I wouldn't call it a dirty market, but there is an aggressive pricing. Some agencies win clients by slashing the prices, but they rarely delivers real value in the long run. It often leads to under-delivered promises and missed potential.
That's it for today, guys. Thank you very much for attention. Send us your questions and we'll try to answer them.